Good morning, dear students. A warm welcome to all of you for our today's digital session for the subject Science and Technology Section A. In our previous session, we have completed with the explanation of the chapter Reflection of Light. Today, we are going to discuss the textual exercise for this chapter. So, keep your textbooks in hand, be ready with the pencil to mark many of the questions answers you have to mark in the textbook, and also keep a notebook and a pen ready for solving numerical examples. So I give you a minute. In the meanwhile, all of you be ready with your textbooks, pencils, book and a pen. Let us begin. All of you move on to page number 127. Textual exercise. Question number 1. Answer the following questions. Answer the following questions. Number 1. Explain the difference between a plane mirror, a concave mirror and a convex mirror with respect to the type and size of the images produced. Means you have to consider the difference between these three mirrors on the basis of type of image formed by that particular mirror and the size of image which is formed. So I have computed the data in the form of a table. Depends on you how you are going to answer it. So in the first column I have mentioned the type of mirror. So we know all the three mirrors: plane mirror, concave mirror, convex mirror. Those who want, you can write it in the tabular form. Now, type of image formed. You all know that in the case of plane mirror, the image which is formed is always virtual and erect. So you are going to write here in the type of image for plane mirror, virtual and erect. Size of the images, the size is same as that of the source. So same size as the source. For plane mirror, the type of image is virtual and erect. Size of the image is same size as the source. In the case of concave mirror, we get virtual, erect and real image, that is inverted, both types. Virtual, erect and real inverted. Size of the image is same size of the object, magnified and diminished. Same size of the object, magnified and diminished. In the case of convex mirror, the type of image is same as that of plane mirror, virtual and erect, and size of the image is diminished. Convex mirror, the type of the image is virtual and erect, and size of the image is diminished. I read once again. Those who want to copy it down can immediately copy down. Plane mirror, type of image is virtual and erect. Size of the image is same size as the source. Concave mirror, virtual, erect and real inverted. Same size of the object, magnified and diminished. Convex mirror, virtual and erect. Size of the image diminished. Here we complete with question number 1A. Question number 1B in your textbook is omitted. Why it is omitted? I will read the question from the textbook. You can refer the textbook. Describe the positions of the source of light with respect to a concave mirror in torchlight, projector lamp and floodlight. Now this answer is on page number 125 in the blue block, which is excluded. It is the excluded part of our syllabus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So that answers we are not going to answer. That part of the syllabus is reduced. So we move on to question number 1C. What is question number 1C? Why are concave mirrors used in solar devices? Now here, these are the questions which are open-ended. You have to apply the knowledge which you have studied. the topics which you have studied in the chapter, you have to apply your studied knowledge over here. So you all know what is the special characteristic of a concave mirror. It converges the ray of light. It brings together the various rays of light. So you know that various solar equipments. Now here I have taken an example of solar cooker. You can take the example of solar water heater, etc. So various solar equipments like solar cooker, etc. they make use of solar energy, that is the energy which is trapped from the sun. So make use of solar energy to cook food. So this should be your first point, that why concave mirrors are used in solar devices. So how solar devices work, on what principle do the solar devices work, that should be your first point. Second point, sun rays. Now here solar energy means sun rays reflected by a concave mirror come together in the focal plane. Sun rays reflected by a concave mirror come together in the focal plane. Third and very important point is, due to this converging property of concave mirror, the intensity of sun rays increases. What happens due to this converging property, due to the property of bringing the rays of light together of concave mirror? What happens? The intensity of sun rays increases, which enables the food to be cooked at a faster rate, and hence we make use of a concave mirror. So I read the answer once again. Various solar equipments like solar cooker, etc. they make use of solar energy to cook food. Sun rays reflected by a concave mirror come together in the focal plane. Due to this converging property of a concave mirror, the intensity of sun rays increases, which enables the food to be cooked at a faster rate. We move on to the next question, that is question number 1D. We move on to question number 1D. Why are the mirrors fitted out on the outside of the cars convex? Why are the mirrors fitted on the outside of the cars convex? Here you can mark this answer in the textbook. All of you are just requested to move on to page number 124 of your textbook. Page number 124 of your textbook. I will mark the answer for you. Third paragraph on page number 124. Third paragraph, first line. You can see here. You can refer from here and mark. The mirrors used in cars and motorcycles are convex mirrors. That is your first point. Second point, continue marking. In these mirrors, the image of a face is erect and smaller, and it remains erect but becomes smaller and smaller when the mirror is taken away from the face. Third point, as a result, we can see is given in the textbook. In place of WEV, cut that word and write the driver. As a result, the driver can see the images of the surroundings in the mirror. I hope all of you have marked the answer in the textbook. Later on, you can write it in your notebook. Now, these are all open-ended questions. See, based on this part, you may also get a question, a give reason. A give reason can be, doctors make use of concave mirror. Doctors make use of a concave mirror. What you are going to write here? You are going to write the main characteristic of concave mirror. What happens in the case of concave mirror? The rays of light are converged by the concave mirror and brought together at a point. So doctors, what they are supposed to do? They want a beam to converge the light so that they can view the small parts such as tooth, ear, nose, and then accordingly they can provide with the proper treatment, and hence concave mirrors are used by doctors. So here open-ended different types of questions can be asked in the exam. I hope all of you have understood question number 1C. Question number 1D is also marked in the textbook. Let us move to the next question, that is question number 1E. Why does obtaining the image of the sun on a paper with the help of a concave mirror burns the paper? Same as question number 1C. You can see over here, concave mirror. Again you have to use the same property of concave mirror, that due to the converging property of concave mirror, the intensity of sun rays increases, due to which what happens? When they come together at a point on the paper, they burn the paper at that particular point. So, you will start from here. Sun rays reflected by a concave mirror come together in the focal plane. That is why I have mentioned here C. Same as question number 1C. You don't write that way. You write the answer in your notebook. Start from point number 2. Don't write the first point. Sun rays reflected by a concave mirror come together in the focal plane. Due to the converging property of concave mirror, the intensity of sun rays increases, and then you will write due to which the paper burns. Due to which the paper burns. Question number 1F is very simple. If a spherical mirror breaks, what type of mirrors are the individual pieces? If a spherical mirror breaks, what types of mirrors are the individual pieces? They are spherical mirrors only. You know that center of curvature, radius of curvatures may vary, but pole, principal axis, it will not be common. So, if the spherical mirror will break, the types of pieces which will be available will be spherical mirrors only. Here we end with question number 1. Now we start with question number 2. What sign conventions are used for reflection from a spherical mirror? What sign conventions are used for reflection from a spherical mirror? All of you go to page number 125. Center of the page, the orange block, entire orange block is your answer. This representative diagram you have to draw. According to the Cartesian sign convention, the pole of the mirror is taken as the origin. The principal axis is taken as the x-axis of the frame of reference. The sign conventions are as follows. The object is always kept on the left of the mirror. All the distances parallel to the principal axis are measured from the pole of the mirror. All distances measured towards the right of the pole are taken to be positive, while those measured towards the left are taken to be negative. Distances measured vertically upwards from the principal axis are taken to be positive. Distances measured vertically downwards from the principal axis are taken to be negative. Focal length of a concave mirror is negative, while that of a convex mirror is positive. Everything is explained to you. When the topic was explained, the answer is clearly given in the textbook point wise. So that same answer you have to write in your notebook. So I hope all of you have marked it on page number 125. Point wise the answer is given in the textbook. So you don't have to worry. You only have to copy it down in your notebook. Question number 3. Now here, draw the ray diagrams for the cases of images obtained in concave mirrors as described in the table on page number 122. You have this table on page number 122. Looking at the position of the object and position of the image, you have to draw the diagram. Now you have to take the help of diagrams on page number 121 of your textbook. You can see in diagram A, the object is placed between center of curvature and the focus. So you have between the center of curvature and the focus. Next is the object is placed between the pole and the focus. First case, between the pole and the focus. And the first diagram was between the focus and center of curvature. So image is beyond the center of curvature. Second place, image is behind the mirror. So you have to make use of that diagrams, and accordingly you have to draw all the 6 ray diagrams in your notebook. take the help of diagrams on page number 121. Already for the position of object at number 1 and number 3 they have given in the textbook. Other 4 you have to draw it in the notebook. So all 6 ray diagrams, one below the other, you have to draw. In the exam you can get any one diagram. Draw the ray diagram when the object is beyond the center of curvature. Then accordingly you have to draw the diagram. So question number 4. Very simple. Which type of mirrors are used in the following? Which type of mirrors are used in the following? Names are given. You have to mention which type of mirrors are used. First one is periscope. Periscope makes use of a plane mirror. First one is periscope. Periscope makes use of a plane mirror. Second is floodlights. Floodlights make use of concave mirror. Third one, shaving mirror. Shaving mirror makes use of a concave mirror. Fourth one, kaleidoscope makes use of a plane mirror. Street lights, convex mirror. And headlamps of a car, concave mirror. So first one, periscope, plane mirror. Floodlights, concave mirror. Kaleidoscope, plane mirror. Shaving mirror, concave mirror. Street lights, convex mirror. And headlamps of a car, concave mirror. So here we finish with question number 4. Now question number 5 are numerical examples. Before moving ahead for numerical examples, we are going to discuss the additional questions of this chapter. So let us move towards the additional questions. The first one is define all the terms related to spherical mirrors. Now all these answers have to be marked directly in your textbook. So keep your textbook open. Define, copy the question in your notebook. Define all the terms related to spherical mirrors. And in your textbook, all of you open page number 119. First one, pole. Now you can see in the textbook, clearly the question is given terms related to spherical mirror. Near diagram 11.7. There you have pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, everything you have to copy it as it is. Very important question. They have not mentioned it in the textual exercise, but it is very, very important. So we are going to write it in the notebook and study for the exam. So the first one is pole. The center of the mirror surface is called its pole. P is the pole of the mirror. Now here you don't have to write all this. P is the pole of the mirror. I am just given you for reference because you are referring from the figure. You only have to write the definitions. Second, center of curvature. The center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part is called the center of curvature of the mirror. If only you are drawing the diagram in the exam, then only you have to mention it. C is the center of curvature, P is the pole. But for definitions, you don't have to draw the diagram. Third one, radius of curvature. The radius of the sphere of which the mirror is a part is called the radius of curvature of the mirror. Mark it in the textbook. Next is principal axis. The straight line passing through the pole and center of curvature of the mirror is called its principal axis. Next, principal focus. Incident rays which are parallel to the principal axis of a concave mirror after reflection from the mirror meet at a particular point in front of the mirror on the principal axis. This point F is called the principal focus of the concave mirror. Only up till there. Last one, focal length. The distance small f between the pole and the principal focus of the mirror is called the focal length. Only up till focal length. I hope all of you have marked in the textbook on page number 119. Keep the same page open because the next two definitions are also on the same page. That is, define concave mirror, convex mirror. Here it can be asked as a definition in the exam. It can be asked under MCQ. It can be asked under a fill-up, under a true or false. There are various ways by which it can be asked in the exam. So concave mirror, convex mirror, also the answers are on page number 119. Right on the top, very first line. If the inner surface of the spherical mirror is the reflecting surface, then it is called a concave mirror. Right below it you have, if the outer surface of the spherical mirror is the reflecting surface, then it is called a convex mirror. Here we end with definitions. Now a very important question. Give the rules for drawing ray diagrams for image produced by spherical mirrors. Just rectify the question. Give the rules for drawing the ray diagrams for images by spherical mirrors. Now refer page number 120 for your answer. Refer page number 120 for the answer. You can see on page number 120, rule number 1, rule number 2 and rule number 3 are given. So along with that rule, you have to draw that particular diagram. Now which diagram? See, right below the rules on page number 120, you have the diagram. Rule number 1, they have given the diagram. Rule number 2, they have given diagram. Rule number 3 also, they have given the diagram. So very important that along with the rule, you have to draw that particular diagram. Everything is given clearly in the textbook. So you just have to copy it down in your notebook. While drawing the diagrams, children always make use of pencil. Even though it is a ray diagram, many a times we have found students are drawing the ray diagrams with pen. You will get a full 0. Diagram means with a pencil. Labeling with the pencil only. Do not use any other color for labeling. So rule number 1, if an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray passes through the principal focus. Then diagram on page number 120, that is 11.9, first rule. Second, if an incident ray passes through the principal focus of the mirror, the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. Then page number 120, second rule and second rule's diagram. Third one is, if an incident ray passes through the center of curvature of the mirror, the reflected ray traces the same path back. If the incident ray passes through the center of curvature of the mirror, the reflected ray traces the same path back. And rule number 3, diagram. Now, all of you will move on to page number 115 of your textbook, 115. In this chapter, we do not have any use your brain power or can you recall, because it is removed out from our syllabus. You know it very well that all your can you recall, use your brain power, that is removed out. So just we will go through it. Page number 115, can you recall is removed. Towards the end you have can you recall, what are the laws of reflection of light, that also is reduced part from the syllabus. Turn your page. 116, towards the end, can you tell is removed out. 117, try this, everything is removed out from the syllabus. Then you can check on page number 125, use of concave mirrors, that is also removed out from the syllabus. So most of the things, even on page number 127, you can see always remember. That always remember part is also removed out from the syllabus. And hence question number 1B we are not going to write. So most of the things are removed out from the syllabus. So here we complete all the textual exercise, all question answers and additional questions for chapter number 11, that is reflection of light. In our tomorrow's online session, we are going to discuss the numerical examples related to this chapter. The numerical examples, textual numerical examples, and question number 6 we are going to discuss. So tomorrow's section B lecture, as section B portion is already over. So section B lecture I will be utilizing for solving the numerical examples of section A. And then we will complete with our portion tomorrow, and Saturday onwards we are going to start with our revision sessions. So thank you dear children. I expect all of you, I hope all of you have marked all the things properly in the textbook. Whatever has to be jotted down, you have jotted down the points. And please dear children, our third online assessment timetable, you have got it. So start completing your notebooks, start studying, start reading, and start understanding and applying the concepts properly while solving your different questions and numerical examples. Thank you.